guys. I'm going to be doing a quick reading on Stephen Miller. Um, it's Saturday, April 19th, 2025 at the time of this recording, and hopefully you won't pick up all the extra sounds outside of dogs barking and so forth. So I'm going to take a look. First, I'm going to try using the investigative deck. It was just a sense of maybe I should try this deck with regard to uh, Stephen Miller. I just want to see what's coming for him because he's the one that is all about this really hateful deportation of people that they just look at and don't like the look of, more or less. They don't even know the correct tattoos that would really determine someone being in a gang, I'm sorry, or not. So I just want to take a look and see, with him being involved in such dark cruelty, what what's going to happen? What's his future? And I'll try the investigative deck. Sometimes these decks uh, can really sing, so to speak, and other times they just don't quite work out. But I've got a lot of decks around me, so no worries. We'll start off with the investigative deck and we'll just see if there's anything that makes sense with it. All right. And a fine morning to you at the time of this, 9:15 a.m. All right. So Stephen Miller, and I'm asking my guides what we need to be aware of. I'm asking Spirit, my guides, my mentors to share and help me to read accurately and clearly and use these cards to let us know uh, what we need to about what is ahead for Stephen Miller. Okay. We're getting hidden clues or a breakthrough. And know too much, want to talk. This makes me feel that someone is going to leak information about him. They're going to, they don't like him. They don't like what he's doing. And once whoever this is, finds out some kind of really significant information, they can't keep it to themselves. It's going to leak. That's what that looks like. Well-funded operation. Look at all that money. Because it's all about the money. And what I don't understand is it's stupid that they're supposed to be saving us money and they're costing the taxpayer, like I keep saying, about 25 grand per person to be housed in these horrible, dangerous CCOT types of places in El Salvador. So, well-funded operation. They've got money that they're using, probably from what they've cut, who knows, and using taxpayer money to do it. And we get the Empress. I'm getting the Empress a lot, and it's to do with ridiculous wealth, in my opinion, and abundance, but also women. But in this case, I'm seeing well-funded operation paired with the figure of empathy, or what's supposed to be the figure of empathy, but also the figure of abundance. And that is the Empress and well-funded operation. To me, this means this is money that I think they are misappropriating, obviously. And they have a lot that they're using, apparently, to fund this deportation through our hard earned taxpayer money. It's disgusting. It cannot fly. And we get a powerful person involved, and we do have the Hierophant, and it's paired with the Emperor and the father figure in charge. Well, MAGA likes to call Trump daddy, so maybe Stephen does too. Anyway, he's got a direct line to Trump, in my opinion, and he's counseling Trump. And I feel like the influence is very thorough. How else to put it? What I'm picking up. And he's gaining power by fear and intimidation through deportation of birthright citizens and trying to get rid of that. So he's right in Trump's ear, and he's all about the power that this position gives him. Hostage or trade. To me, these are the prisoners and people that are having their human rights violated behind closed doors. Yeah, these are secret meetings talking about deporting people um, for, just for the fact that they don't care for them, not because they're really guilty or anything. It's very transactional feeling. Like this is behind closed doors. And that brings me back to kind of the hot mic moments between Trump and Bukele, whatever his name is. Check the timing, and a heavy burden card is coming for Stephen Miller. He certainly caused enough of this for everyone else. But this is a sign of something to come for him, to take note that a heavy burden he's going to have taken on to himself, and it's going to drain him. This underground nonsense that he's basically doing, you know, having people quietly lifted off the street and flown to a prison in another country. So that's the feeling, that underhanded, feeling. And media or social media. So, and that's paired with that. Um, this just means he's going to be exposed, and it's going to be all over social media. And I think social media doesn't really like him. So I think it's going to be like hotcakes. There's some burden that's coming to him for what he's done, and he doesn't see it yet. Missing or searching. These are the people that they've made disappear. The fool, risk taking. He's bitten off more than he can chew. And he's taken a big risk with making these people go missing in the way that they have without due process. You can't, it's just foolish. And it is a big risk. You don't just do that, and it's going to come back. And of course, as Deanne and I were talking about, it will cost our nation even more because people will need to sue. They've been wrongfully traumatized. We get suspicious activity. Kind of, even if we gave him hair and a little more growth, few days growth without shaving, it would really kind of resemble him in this picture. But it's paired with cannot see clearly. Suspicious activity, cannot see clearly. Something they're trying to hide. I don't think I'm just getting hit. They don't know, really, and I've read this before that they don't really know the law. They don't really care, and they don't really understand, like Stephen Miller, how big of a consequence this is going to bring back to him, or should bring back to him. Kept in the dark. We're getting the Hermit card. I think again we're dealing with people being picked up and taken, and it being quiet. They're trying to keep it quiet when they go to do such stuff. When ICE goes out there, or whoever it is, because they're not dressed in identifying uniform. You know, I would resist if they came. I had to get away. So that's interesting. This is someone that may end up getting away, that has an experience to share. This could be someone that more information that comes out either through people he's targeting and his team are targeting to be deported. Now, kept in the dark, I think this is like the conditions that they find when they enter this prison. And also the fact that they're trying to do this in a sneaky fashion. This is not um, done in a really legal process or manner. It's all very, very sketchy and illegal. Um, we get freedom. That's something that Stephen doesn't really like, except for himself. And crime of passion or desire. Hmm. Well, what he's doing is definitely a crime of depriving people of their freedom. It's not based on, to me, this is showing it's not based on any fact. It's just based on his personal um, desire that are dark and warped. Then he gets the sun, which says correct path, yes, and family connection. So I'm getting light on a family connection. Maybe there's going to be a family, or maybe the families of those that he's uh, deported are going to come more to the forefront with the sun and bring their stories. We need to hear them. I am safe now. Maybe after they've returned back or feel safe in some way, we will get those undercover. So I am safe now and undercover, perhaps in a hidden location where they feel like they can freely discuss what they experienced. That's going to come out. So this it's this shuffling of people around to these prisons. What they're doing is really sus, and it's sketch. There is an ending coming for him. We do get death, the ending. And I think what I'm feeling from these cards is the people that he's illegally deported, it's going to come back to bite him in the butt. And he's not going to anticipate this, but it's going to be a huge deal. And it's going to end him. Web of lies. It's going to show that he doesn't have a quote leg to stand on, that there's no basis in legal uh, reason for him doing what he did. And in fact, it's costing America. And it's not just costing us financially, but it makes us look like we are behaving like Assad and Putin, because that's the playbook. We get delays or sacrifice here. He's going to get thrown under a bus. That's what I feel. Unaware of surroundings. This is also, I think, sacrifice, people being sent to places where they don't know where they're at, and they're just sacrificed to appease this desire to deport people that they don't like the look of, that have brown skin and a certain kind of a last name and tattoos. They don't like the look of it. There's hidden stuff coming. There's secrets that are going to come out. We're getting the high priestess. This is hidden knowledge and relationship, or the lovers. And to me, this is an agreement, and probably the agreement that is made with Bukele, or Bukele, however way he pronounces his name, the dictator in El Salvador. Something was seen, aggressive attack. Group involvement, probably in trying to take people. Money involved. It's transactional. This is all transactional. And it's sick. And there's a group of people, and it's Miller and it's Bukele, whatever his name is. I'm probably not getting it right. Nayib, and Trump. It's a core group of people, and they're aggressively going about this. But again, I feel like stuff is going to get leaked about this behavior. Person is known, okay, and distraction not as it seems. Well, to me, this is them once again lying, saying something is other than it is, telling people he's a criminal and he's not. He's never been charged either in El Salvador or in America, United States, for any criminal charge. It's not there. His wife did, apparently, they had a domestic issue, but that's been it. And it's none of our business as far as I'm concerned. And she is wanting the husband of her children back home. Strategy and planning and confrontation, strength. So there is a confrontation of what they're doing coming up. And I keep getting that. And I feel like between the judges and we, the people, this is just going to become more and more a problem. And that they're guilty of sending people, I feel, over there for no good reason. Ransom or note left. Well, it could be paperwork that proves guilt, the transactional agreement, perhaps, that they have with El Salvador's president. But there's also, for Stephen Miller, rumors behind his back. He's going to go through a time. It's coming. And there's uncertainty for him. Just as there was uncertainty for the people that he just sent into the dark to another country. I feel that rumors are going to start to come up behind his back. I don't think he's well liked there. And resilience, slow process. People are becoming more resilient, resisting this. And we get the temperance card, life in balance. And people are realizing, hey, what you're doing is very dangerous. And you're doing this to someone, they're making the connection that this government then decides you're not doing what they want, you could be in danger. And we're getting tower chaos, or in a building is going to come down because it's too extreme. Missing peace, missing people, and also probably information. I'm sure they're covering things up. Put in a room, that's put in a prison. You can see this prison stuff's going to come back. did not go to plan. It's not going to work out the way he thought. There's going to be people that are waiting to be brought back home, to be found, or get the help that they need to be returned. And there's a possibility of being drugged or poisoned. I don't know. Just take note of that. We get vehicle or moved. So I feel like, are they drugging these people and moving them around? This is a lot of effort just this is weird. And wrong direction. So that's interesting. We get the chariot and a vehicle moved in wrong direction. This is getting juicy here. This is getting interesting. Did they take him to the wrong place? I feel like there's disorganized and there's shuffling going on with people trying to move them around to these prisons. Jealousy or cheating. I think that's just the corruption in what they're doing. Repeat offender. Yeah, doing it again and again. And there's an accident here. It looks like coming. Excuse me. And time, running out of time. There's an accident on his timeline. Repeat offender, because he's doing this over and over, and the timeline for him to knock it off is running out. This makes me feel like the universe is warning him. Home search or house. And judgment, a harsh sentence. Maybe they're going to search his home at the end of the day sometime for records to look at his electronics. Certainly what he has done in taking people from their home is a grave, serious thing. And the universe shows that it feels like it is a grave, serious thing with these two cards of judgment and the home. We're searching a home. But I wonder if it's not going to be his home that's searched. Two crimes connected. He's the criminal here. Tunnel or underground. So they're trying to hide criminal activity. And so I think we could see where they're going to want to go through his things, maybe even his residence, to look for incriminating digital evidence. I think a lot of digital stuff, communication that shows that he knows that and doesn't care about the law, this kind of stuff. Drugs, alcohol, or blood. All right. Domestic violence abuse. Does he have a drinking problem? Is there domestic violence going on? Or is he using these kinds of problems to deport people? That maybe if they get into those kinds of issues or have those issues, rather than they're not really involved in a gang, but they may have had the domestic violence charge, something like that. Or maybe they were caught with drugs or alcohol or DUI. Is it this? Is it that? Let's see what the next few cards say. DNA evidence and fight, conflict, argument. I'm leaning more toward something that proves maybe Stephen. This is all alleged for entertainment purposes only, because I'm just trying to surmise what these cards might mean. But it sure looks like somebody that is involved in an argument, and there's DNA evidence to prove that they were involved in that domestic or violence, and it could be blood, quite possibly, with the drugs, alcohol, or blood card, domestic violence, and then we get the DNA evidence and fight and argument. I wonder what the home life is like. That's all I got to say. There could be something coming out about that. And this is also crime of opportunity with him and cover up or tampering. This is making sense. Marks left behind. To me, this is damage done. That there's trauma that's not going to go away, and we get marks left behind. But that also goes with that domestic DV, an organized meeting. Marks left behind, organized meeting. I don't know. Tied or restrained. Maybe there's going to be marks upon people that show that they've been smacked around while in these prisons, because we still keep getting also, it could be that the blood or bruising even from the other cards could go that way. And an organized meeting, I think it will be noted, like when Chris Van Hollen went and met with, finally got to meet with Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia seemed very stunned. I did see a bit of that. I want to watch just the rest of it that I can. But you could tell he wasn't, that there was a shock there. At least I could feel it. Yeah, Miller gets the Wheel of Fortune. Payback. What he's doing with all of this organized meeting as well, like with, if we think about it also with the likes of Bukele and making these agreements to send people over like they're nothing. We've got it coming back on him. Mask, not true face. So he's going to be exposed. Like I keep getting further dark deeds that he's tried to keep quiet around this are going to be brought to light and leaked, deeply involved, or water. He's deeply involved in this. This is his baby. Staged, set up, or framed. These people, I think the people that he's sending over are being set up. They're just being used. Dark intentions, or dark intention or motive. That's him. And this will be what is revealed. Ringmaster organized, that he's the one calling the shots here. This is his baby. He owns this one. And it shows that he's the one that organized these dark intentions and motive. That's going to come. The devil, narcissist, torture, rage. That's him. And that's Trump. And that's all of this. That hatred for people that is just driving him and the Trump admin to do horrible things that are illegal and ethically and morally wrong. Even shows up in the cards, and exposed secrets. So yeah, devil is going to get exposed. He's not going to like that. Purposely disappeared. These are the people he's purposefully disappearing in the prisons. And think about it differently. Perhaps more people will start to think about it differently and realize, hey, if maybe I did something, if lights might come on, and make them realize they could be me or somebody I love. And so, world, end of situation, or buried. To me, people are just going to be determined to end this deportation program and Stephen Miller's little career here with the dark magician manipulating things that is harmful. And they're going to end him. So there's an authority above him. He doesn't seem to think so. And we get not involved or unaware. I think Trump might try also to claim that he's wasn't aware of some of this stuff. Doesn't matter. Ignorance is no, they say, no excuse. Out of the picture. This is an end for him. He's going to be gone, daddy, gone. in my opinion, and digital footprint. He's going to be, again, there's going to be evidence that just links him to purposefully disappearing people. Um, it's coming. Mental struggle or illness, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, everybody to some degree or another has something a little off. We all do, but some people more than others. And I think he's definitely one of them. And stranger unknown to me. You know, it could be true that he would also look to deport people that have mental illness or that are very vulnerable and don't have anyone. Get rid of them too. It's just heartless kind of a feeling here. I want it out. I think these are more people that will come forward as being taken and purposefully disappeared, and they were innocent of doing anything wrong. Look at that. Justice is coming. Law, legal trial. Justice is coming, and we get accomplice and had help. So they are going to go to town on him. It's going to be his future. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Evidence of statement. I think he's going to be in trouble. Body is hidden. I just feel like that's like really serious information that is going to be exposed. That is just doesn't surprise me. Going to reveal things he wanted to keep quiet. And they're watching him. Person of interest, stalker being watched. I think that means they're going to be surveyed. And he's going to be in deep trouble. He's not going to be able to get out of this. This is something legal. I don't see him or them being able to, because the climate is not going to support it. We're seeing too many people that are going to change their opinion, and some that may have been for certain, unfortunately, things that Trump and these guys would do, but we see that changing more. And the tide and the feeling, the sentiment is going to change here. This guy is going to be in trouble. So if you appreciate readings like this, according to the cards, thumbs up. See you in the next video.